Hello, hello, and welcome to my page. I am Tammy Neff, and you will be joining me on my Facebook page called Tammy Loves Vintage, and also on my YouTube channel, also called Tammy Loves Vintage. So I am Tammy Neff, and I hope that you all enjoy what I'm about to share with you. For all of the girls that are in my private group, you've seen all of this. Okay, so you've been there, done that. But I have a lot of new friends, and I have a lot of things that we've been doing that I haven't shared on my page here. So I thought that I would do that. So it looks like I am good to go. Let me see here. There I am. Let me turn it down. I've been watching Mama P. I think Mama P is still live this morning. She's been live, but yeah, I'm here. She's been live for a long time. I keep thinking, I don't want to step on her, but Randy's like pacing, ready to go. And I'm like, I really want to do this video because I know my day will get away from me. We're going to go see his mom, see my mom. You know, I've got to take care of my daughter's dogs. They're his father, my son-in-law's father, is not doing very well health-wise, so they want to go up and you know, let the baby see him and hang out for a while. So anyway, you know, just gonna be a busy day. Oh, hi you guys. Yay, you're coming in. Okay, so let's get started. I have a whole pile of stuff that I want to show you. But the first thing I want to show you is how the bottle from yesterday turned out. Oh, thank you. You know, everything I get from TJ Maxx. Just saying. It's about all we have to shop here. There's a Marshall's. I'm right in the middle of a TJ Maxx and a Marshall's. I'm like a half hour away from either one. So, and I found that the new Marshall's is way nicer than the TJ Maxx in Zanesville. So yeah, I may turn into more of a Marshall's person. Anyway, so here is how the bottle turned out. I did craft the whole time. You guys were all watching in the sparkle room. I was making. And so I thought I need to show them what all I made and inspire you guys. But, and then I thought, you know, I have a lot to show and share and things that I hadn't shown, or maybe all of you hadn't caught the live, because sometimes at the ends of my lives, I have a hard time saying goodbye. So at the end of my lives, a lot of times I'm like, oh, and I want to show you this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. So anyway, not everyone hangs out the whole time to see that kind of, you know, they don't realize. But yeah, the ends of my videos, if you're watching the beginning and you're like, meh, I'm not into that, maybe come back on the replay and scroll by, because I'm all over the place. So you never know what you're going to miss with me. Okay, so here's the bottle that I made, and I thought I would just tell you what all I did to change it up. First thing, I felt like the lace at the bottom was a little bit bright, so I stained it just a little bit. I just added some spray stain and took care of that. And then I added some gold to the raised part of the Would You Bend. And then I finished my corners off. So I wanted you all to see, there's the side that I patched. You can see there's a little bit of a jog in it, but I think there's so much going on. I don't think you really see that. And then, I added this flower. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that corner, but I added a flower, and you can see how my corners came together. I was struggling with it on my live. I kind of was struggling, but I wasn't really struggling. It was burning up time with me messing with this, frame, and I wanted to move on, so I didn't completely finish the frame part. But all I did was, so it was kind of gapped, and I just held my heat gun to the corner, and then I was able to pinch it together and hold it, you know, until it cooled down a little bit. And then I touched it with some black paint. Just anything that might not have closed all the way would be painted, and they did really, really well. So anyway, there is that. I added an itty bitty here, and I'm going to show you that in case anybody missed it. I added a little crocheted ring. These are little rings that have a string on the back. Someone made crocheted rings, and I bought a bag of those. And then I added, oh shoot, I didn't tie that very well, did I? Hang on. I added some keys. I added 2 keys. I think I added one, this pretty one with you. And then I added a tag and a little bauble off of a bracelet, or probably a bracelet. I don't know. I think it was a stretch bracelet if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was super old, but it was gold and it was small. And so I added that. There we go. I don't know how that came undone, but anyway, so I added the brass key, which is awesome. And then I added a tag that had writing on both sides, and it kind of had a gold and black patina on it naturally, so I left it. There's the little bauble that I was talking about. It had a little pearl in the middle on both sides. Did it have a pearl or just a raised gold? It's just a raised gold spot, but I thought that was pretty, and it had a loop so I could tie it on. And then I added a rusty key. I kind of like the rusty, just to be a little mix. And then I added a large black button to the top of the glass bottle to pull the black up, and then put a little pretty gold button in the middle of the big black button. And I think that's all I did. So while the girls were going live, sharing their mystery boxes, I need to cut the tail on this one. I see I didn't get that cut off. It's distracting from the key there. That's better. Anyway, so there you go. So I feel like this is a finished bottle now. I think it looks much better. Oh, thank you. I just bought a black one. I'll get a lot of good out of that one, I'm sure. So there's my finished bottle. I might leave it here close by so that I can share it again for anyone that joins in late to see what I have going on. Let's see. So the next thing, we touched on the snippets yesterday. So I have a private group. It's called Tammy's Making. You can find it in the link tree linked at the top of my page. It's on my website, and my website is always the name of my page, Tammy Loves Vintage. You did. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. It was so fun doing it. Now after I saw everyone, I don't know that it would change a whole lot, but a little bit. Kathy, I was surprised how nervous she was, because she always does awesome things, and the angel that she had and the little pediment, she called it, was so pretty. And I thought hers turned out absolutely beautiful for her being so nervous. But I realized watching her, how different our crafting styles are. And I always thought we were kind of, a lot alike. I might not be quite as sparkly, but I love the sparkle. I just don't sparkle quite as much. But it was so interesting watching everyone. And I knew for Justin, I thought the outdoorsy, I couldn't really have a lot of, I'm very lacy and sparkly and antique. And I thought, poor Justin, what am I going to send him, a bag of flowers? What am I going to send him? And so I opted for the natural, the mushrooms and all that. He picked the moss. He picked right up on that and added elements. And it was amazing what he did. Dina, she loved her book, how it turned out. And Lindy, she got a book too. I sent 2 books. And then Chris and her cigar box turned out great. So I hope you all were in the Sparkle Room to see all of the items that I picked for each person and how they decorated them. And I was very proud of everybody, and everyone seemed to love it. So that was fun. Anyway, let's see. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the snippets. I got several messages from you guys. A lot of you didn't know what a snippet was. And I learned about snippets from Michelle at the Vintage Daisy. And also on my YouTube channel, they were doing a lot of paper snippets. And when I watch YouTube, I saw that. So totally intrigued. And I want to show you. So I showed yesterday really quick, and this is a paper snippet, one that I sewed. And this is just adding machine tape that I folded in half, and then just started adding different papers too. And I did them in different sizes. There's different sizes of it. And everyone's like, what do you do with the snippet rolls? And, I kind of just touched on this really quick yesterday because, it wasn't really about this. I just had some extra time at the end. And so some people were messaging, can you tell me more about the snippet rolls? So that's a paper snippet roll. This was last month in our group. We did all of these things. Oh, here's another snippet roll that I finished this one out a little bit. And I learned from my fabric snippet rolls not to embellish too much, because when you put them on a project, you might not have your things where you need them to be. It might be right where you're like, if I need to cut right here where this button is, it's going to be a little difficult, so I have to shift everything. So I kind of am liking the idea of doing the snippet rolls plain and then dressing them up as I'm using them. Here's one that I folded over, adding machine tape, and did not sew, so it doesn't have any stitches in it. But it's also paper, and then the fabric comes in the little things that I've added, little pieces of lace and doilies and buttons and whatever. So that's how I finished them. Let me see here. Here's these, and then I showed you all the old quilt that I did with, and I finished it out. So I started with the fabric snippet rolls and sewed. I went wild with my sewing machine. I'm just kind of getting in this room, and I needed to style it somewhere, and it was dark last night, so I wanted to wait till daylight. So I will be putting my bottle in the sparkle room and here on my page for you guys to, you know, zoom in on and check out the details. So there is fabric snippet rolls. This one was more velvet, from a velvety old cutter quilt. I sent a lot of pieces to, I think I sent pieces of the quilt to everybody in the group. And Justin used his like a frame. It was really, really pretty. And Chris lined the inside of her box with hers. Super pretty. And then here's another one, but they all kind of get to be the same. So if you have a quilt that is not beautiful, like this one was kind of an ugly quilt. I didn't really love it. But I loved the stitching, all of that stitching on it, but I wasn't crazy for their fabrics. But look, when you cut it up and add pieces, it turns out really interesting. So I'm going to show you some of the things, some of the ideas of what you use these for once once you make them. And I sat and made. So I got an abundance. This is how I started with this type of snippet roll, and I just put it on a piece of heavier than muslin, but it's just a scrap, like the end of something, probably a tea towel or something like that, maybe a pillowcase. I don't know what it is. Could be a curtain, who knows what it is, but it was a little heavier than muslin. But this is what I got, and I didn't really finish it out. I didn't add buttons or anything, and it's beautiful just like it is. But I'll be able to add on as I go. And so you can just cut, whatever you need with these snippet rolls. Oh, I did the plaster one. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, and then here's just a piece. I've used a lot of the snippet rolls that I've made. So here's a piece. I made a skinny one, which was super. I love the skinny mini snippies. And then here is another, just to give you inspiration, you guys, just to inspire you a little bit. But when you are making something and you cut a little piece off, you're like, oh, that's too small. This little piece right here is too small to do anything with, so it would go in the trash. Start saving them. And if you're not a sewer, if you don't have a machine or you don't want to sit and sew, you can glue these together too. I've just recently kind of been trying to bond with my sewing machine, I guess you could say. I'm not a lover of sewing, zero lover of sewing, but over the last few months, I'm kind of seeing the beauty in it. So, I'm kind of liking it. Okay, so then this is my front only. So I made these where they're just pretty on the front side so that I can glue it down to something. And I call these my itty bitties. I kind of just came up with this idea because I like to do little things like this. And I did put one on my bottle right here. That's an itty bitty that I stuck on there. And I've used these itty bitties all the time. Like I need to probably sit and make some. I'm in good shape. I made a bunch, but I'm going to have to sooner than later make some. And then I made double-sided itty bitties to hang. So let me show you these. So they're pretty on both sides. Okay. They can be done, and I did all different sizes. Okay, but they're pretty on both sides, so I can hang a tag. I can hang them from something, so let me show you. All right, so that gives you the idea. Okay, so we made those, and like this lady that I keep just behind me on the table for now, I hung a couple of double-sided tags off of her cage. This was like, I think this was an old lamp. I bought one of these that had actually like a shade on the bottom, and the shade was her dress, and it was a lamp shade. So this is one of the things that I hung the tag. So you just use a hole punch, or you can just punch, you know, something through it and thread your, I use seam binding, but you could use jute or yarn or ribbon or whatever you wanted. And then I hung a couple of them on her dress just to pull the blue, because I don't normally do blue so much, but I made that in our group. Let's see here. No, I didn't. I made that right here on this page. Yeah, I made that here on this page. And so I have this girl, I sit her here, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to add a little bit of blue, you know, pull it down. It didn't have quite the right shade of blue, but but it's fine. It's in the right family. Whoops. Oh gosh. It's in the right family. So let me catch up on your comments here. I'm not, let's see. Thank you. Doing a vintage Christmas tree to leave. Oh, that's awesome. Good, good, good. Well, stick around if you can, or catch the replay. But yeah, so you just punch them, Pamela, and then you can tie them onto anything. And I think that's about it. Good morning. Love your shirt. No, I won't cut it up, Mona. Oh, you're so funny. Maybe someday I might cut it up, but not now. Good morning, everybody. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'll post in the Sparkle Room. Yay. Okay, I think we're good. Good morning, Sue. Hi, you guys. Linda. Hi, you guys. Okay, so I think we're good. Okay, I just don't want to miss any questions if I can help it. I answered comments last night. So that's another thing I just want to mention. Sometimes when there's a whole bunch of comments and people to say hi and all that too, you can only do 100, and then Facebook shuts you down and they punish you for answering. I mean, it's supposed to be social media. They want you to be social, but yet they'll only let you be social with so many people. So I answer until I get shut down. And then I have to wait a few days, and sometimes I don't remember to go back. So if you have a specific question, message me. It's just me. I'm just a person, and I'm just like, can be your friend, and you can message me. You can text me. Get your pencil out. I'll try to remember to say this a couple of times. Well, I'll put it here. I can do it. Let's see. 740 273 6693. Is that right? 273 6693. Let me double check that. Sure. Let me double check. 273 6693. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're good. Whoops, where was I? Let's see. Okay, I love having a second phone. I don't know where I was. I have to find myself again. Where the heck am I? There I am. Hi. Okay, so we're back. There it is. You can text me there, and I will give you not updates, but I'll let you know whenever I'm, thank you, Danielle. Whenever I'm going live, I'll give you like a little heads up. So there's my number, or you can go to my link tree at the top of the page. If you're a Telegram person, there's a Tammy Loves Vintage Telegram. If you can't find it over there, you can go to my link tree, and there's a link for it. You love the girl with the wires. Yes, she's awesome. Yes, she's awesome. The snippet, it needed something on the bottom, but yet I love that industrial look of the wire with the soft Victorian lady. I thought was kind of a cool mix. And when I got it, I pictured skirting her all out, making her beautiful. But then I thought, no, I kind of like the wire. So I've left her, and I just added a little bit of blue just to tie it in with the blue. And then like the plops from my, you may not know what a plop is. Hang on. So this is one of my plops. A plop is a half sphere. This one has blues, you can see, and I thought it went well with the blue, so I brought it down to put it in. It's a half sphere, so this would be a whole circle, right? But half of a circle, and then I call them a plop. That's my word that I made up. And you just plop it down, and you can add it to any of your decor. It's super easy to decorate with. I have just plain greenery ones. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is a wreath. I thought this was a plop, but it's a wreath on the website. But anyway, I just plop it like that, and it's beautiful, and you don't have to do anything. So I love the plops. I have several. I have lots of plops on the website, and the website is the name of this page.com, TammyLovesVintage.com, so you can always remember that. And it's also in my link tree at the top. So, okay, to finish out the snippet idea, okay, so what do you do with the snippets? Here's an idea. Oh wait, my daughter's messaging me. Oh, she's getting ready to pull out. Okay. All right. So sorry. Sorry about that. Let's make sure she, thanks again. Okay, no problem. Okay. No worries. No worries, honey. Okay. Okay. So, sorry. sorry. So this is one of the things I did with the snippet roll. So you might be able to recognize that this is an old spool, and it was black, and I crackled it, okay? And then I wrapped the body of the spool with snippets and made this decorated spool, which I thought was very different. And then I added an old doorknob to the top of it, and it fit right down inside. Did I glue it? No, I didn't even glue it. So there you go. And then I tied a little something just to dress it up. But there's the top of your spool, and I just did that. And then I added a little piece of bling. See, I like bling too. There's some bling on here. There's all kinds of bling on here. Anyway, so I thought that was a really neat way. My friend Sherry gave me the spool, and of course I have to alter everything I get. It's a sickness, I suppose. I don't know what it is, but I did. Let me see. So there is a use for the snippets. I showed you last night my lampshade right here. That is snippets. I'm sure you can see it. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can just lift it right off. Here you go. I'll give you a better shot of it. Okay, so I just literally wrapped rows and rows and rows and rows of snippets. Okay, and then anywhere where there might have been a gap or whatever, I just glued in something, a piece of whatever. And it's super interesting. It's very artsy looking in a vintage way. Love all of the textures. And I thought it was a great way to use the snippet rolls. You wouldn't have to do that. You could just start gluing stuff on everywhere. But I loved making the snippet rolls. And I was really trying to learn how to, or give you guys ideas of what to do with it once you made your snippet rolls. Because everyone's showing snippet rolls, but they're not really, so much getting into ideas of what to do with them. I sell bags of snippets. You can make anything into a snippet. I don't have any right now. I hadn't really thought about that. I have a great deal of 7 old vintage wood spools off market. Well, perfect. Yes, you need to be making some snippets. And you could wrap it with the paper snippets too. You wouldn't have to do the fabric. I just liked all of the textures, and the spool felt like it should be fabric, so that's what I did. In the same line of the snippets, so this month, all of that I've showed you of the snippets were last month. The itty bitties, I didn't show you the cluster. Wait a minute, there's more to show you. I didn't show you the clusters, but I think I'm out. I think I've clustered. Yeah, I've just got, what do I have? One left. I have one cluster left. So, no, I might have 2. Yeah, I have 2 clusters left. So on my adding machine tape, okay, you can see it's adding machine tape. I made little clusters, okay, and the idea was to be able to use those on projects. What I realized was they were a little bit big, and so I decided to invent the little itty bitties. And so that's where the idea of the itty bitties came from, was these were a little bit big. I mean, they work great on a bottle. You see, they're fantastic. So you could totally put a cluster on the back. But anyway, I just love them. So I have paper packs on my website. If you don't have old papers, I do have that. I don't have enough fabrics really. Every time I do a sale in my group, it's another little perk of my group is all of my sales go in my group now. It's just a much more, there's 80 some people, almost 90 people in there. And those girls, you know, they know what I'm going to have. They love all of my stuff. And I give them first grabs. It's kind of a perk of being in there. You get a 15% discount on anything on my website. If you're in the group, you get a code. Plus all of this new stuff like this that I try to bring in there. So, it's well worth a $15, at least a month or two to see what you've been missing for sure. Just joined. Love your shirt. Thank you. Hi, Gloria. Happy. Always nice to see you. You are so. Oh, thank you. Aw, thanks, Gloria. Okay, so another idea. So here's an idea for a cluster. This was a paper snippet that I put on first, and then I didn't want to take the time really to dress it up so much, and I added a cluster right here to the middle. I just slapped it right on top of the papers. Here is another cluster that I added to a fabric snippet roll, and I added it to these ugly, boring candles that I love, though. I love the light at night. These are the remote candles that I just, you know, I'm really enjoying. Oh, good. What? I can't read it. I need to just put my glasses. I'm enjoying for 1st of June texting you. Oh, Kathy. Okay. It's TammyLovesVintage.com, and the link is there. It's also at the top of this page in my link tree. It just says crafting group. And if it comes up a yearly option for 165 and you get the last month free. So you're paying for 11 months and you get the last month free, or you can just give it a try for $15. And if you love it and you think I'm going to stick around, you can cancel that $15 membership and re-sign up under the year. That's the best way. Anyway, so this is a fabric snippet that was all done up, and then I added a cluster to the front. I love that too. Okay, and then let me see here. I showed you guys yesterday, but so many of you didn't know what a snippet roll was, so you didn't even know what I was talking about. So here's a snippet of a snippet roll. It's a piece of a snippet roll. And then I added, and I just put it on the binding of this book. I loved the leather, and it says Ohio Schools, and I'm from Ohio, so I loved that. It says Ohio Schools Library. And then I added an itty bitty to the front and back of a bookmarker, which is just cardstock, and then I covered it with paper, and then I added an itty bitty to the top, front, and back, and then that sticks out of the book like that. Okay, and I feel like I should have added an itty bitty right here. Someone probably had a price tag there over the years. That's my only guess, is there was a price tag there, and it ruined the front of the book. But I can show you what it would look like. Tell me what you think. This is a front only. I do like the front and back for the option of hanging it, but I also love the front only for the option of gluing it. So I made both. You could do front onlys and glue them together. You know what I mean? Like, this is not pretty on the back side. This is not pretty on the back side, but you could glue them together, and then you'd be pretty on the front and back if you didn't want to mess with fronts and backs. But let's see, I was kind of thinking, but then I thought it might be too redundant, like why is that on there? I don't know. What do you think? Do you like that on there? Should I do that to cover up the spot, or leave it like that? What do you think? What do you guys think? Use it or lose it? Use it or lose it? What do you think? Let me know. They're beautiful. Couldn't remember. Either one. You can glue or sew. The itty bitties I just glued. I found a wonderful glue, and I wrote on it paper on paper. I've been writing on my different glues so that I know. Leave it? Okay. Leave it. Okay. That's exactly what I did. Lose it. Okay. That's exactly what I did. But then I thought, oh, should I? But you see what I mean. It's kind kind of cute. Okay, so this is called Art Glitter. It's in my Amazon store, again, at the top of my page in the link tree. I've been using it for all my paper projects. It's got a super fine tip that comes with it, and this little pin comes with it as well. And it just comes out every time, and it's amazing, and everyone's been recommending it, and so I tried it, and I love it. You like the odd number? Okay. See, you guys are mixed too, but most of you are saying leave it alone. Don't do it. So I can always add it later if it really bugs me later. Okay, so then this month I added on to the idea of the snippet rolls because I really love the snippets. You like the itty bitties? I do too, and I love the little name, and so it's just perfect. Okay, so then I decided to make my own fabric snippets. Okay, so here is a piece of muslin. And I teach you girls how to do this and how to make your own. And I've sewn it down and like, you know, how to hold it in place to make your fabric. And then I did 2 of them and I was loving it and super loving it. And then one of the girls in the group sent me an idea of how to do it without the backing. So I literally was making, like I called this making my own fabric, but I really was kind of embellishing a fabric, I guess you would call it. So I took her idea and I ran with it, and I made it without the backing, and I absolutely love it. And while I was watching everybody craft, if you remember, I showed you the book idea. Well, I finished the book. So this is what I came up with. And you can see the pages through the holes of the fabric. And then here's the back. I just wrapped it all the way around. Okay. And I've never seen a book like this. I've never seen this fabric made this way. And I literally am so proud of myself. I actually made a piece of fabric. And so, and then I embellished it out, like I said. And then I've got my little bookmarker here that matches. I did the same. I made 2 bookmarkers for my 2 books that were here on my table. And I love that. Yeah, love it. So that was another thing that I did, not in the group. I made the fabrics in the group and taught you how to do that. Do I use a hoop? No hoop. No. And then I decorated the book while all of the people were going live in the sparkle room. Okay, thank you. Okay, then let's see, what else do I have? Okay, let me show you a little bit more. So in Michelle, the Vintage Daisies group, one of her groups, she's got several groups, they were messing around with slow stitching, which is this type of sewing, and I'm not very good at it. But I did come up with this, and this was an old, I think it was like an old, I don't think it was a feed sack. It was a salt bag. Yeah. An old, Tarl salt, colonial brand. Oh, table salt. I don't know what Tarl salt is. Table salt, the colonial salt, Akron, Ohio. Net weight was 4 pounds. And I love this. And someone took the salt bag and stitched around the corners, and then her initial was this green B, the letter B. So then I added all of everything else. I added this piece of lace, I added the buttons, I added all the little black, and I loved how it turned out. So Michelle put a challenge in her group, and this was what I did for the challenge. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Like, I feel like I could frame it. Maybe someday. It's kind of cool. But for now, I just have it. I could do it on a book cover. I don't know. I'll do something with it. But I wanted to show you that. Then we've been making flowers. So last month, no, I'm not very good at it. Don't look too close. And I made some flowers. Now, where is my oh, they're right here in front of me. I tried my hand at making velvet flowers. Okay, so this was my first try. My first little try. I put a heart with and I initialed them. And I really liked all of the textures. You know, you don't know me, but you'll learn to know I love the textures. Yes, I do. I sell a lot of it in my sales in my group. I do sales in my group. because I have everyone's addresses and it just works out really nice. And sometimes I come live here with a sale. I put my phone number in the comments, Susan. You can text me and just say hi. And then I have it's called a community texting service. And once you initiate a text to me, that lets them know it's not a spam. That I can't just text you guys. If you give me your number, I can't text you from there until you text me first. That lets that company know that you want to hear from me, and then I let you know whenever I'm going live and what it's about. So if it's a live sale, I will tell you I'm doing a live sale and what time it would be. Okay, so anyway, here is an idea for using your flowers. I took an old postcard and attached it to some German pages on a board. And so this would be something you would easel or you could do a command strip on the back. I love the Velcro command strips. And you can just stick it right to the wall. And then when you're done, just slowly pull on that little tab. Don't pull back, slowly pull down, and they release every time. I paint houses, that's my job. And I fix so many command strips where people just pull them and the thing breaks and then they scrape it off, and then we've got to spackle and mud and fix it all. If you just pull down really slowly, you should be able to get it off without any trouble at all. But anyway, you can hang it, but usually I easel these and prop them in my decor. But here was an idea of a use for the flowers. Then, and I've really been into velvet here lately, vintage velvet. So I tried my hand at some of Jimmy Swift flowers. Jimmy sent me a surprise package of flowers that I shared with you guys. And I started with that, and I was just trying to figure out how she's getting them so stiff and all of the things. And she finally gave me her secret, which I've shared in the group, but I'm not sharing here because it's her secret. So she said I could share it in my group. So anyway, here are my velvet flowers. They're pansies that I came up with her inspiration. And I added them to this board. Okay, and I just wrapped the book page around. So here's the back, in case you would put it in a glass case, or you would easel it maybe, somewhere where someone might get a glimpse of the back. I just dressed up the back too, but it's just on a Walmart canvas board. I don't know what they call these boards, but they look like canvas, but they're flat instead of built up. That way you don't have to mess with the edges, right? So anyway, there are some flowers, and we made the flowers in the group with the velvet. And then this was before I knew how to do it. I stiffened them with old book pages, but I found it much easier. I don't have a book page on that one. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't book page the flowers themselves. No, I didn't. This was after I learned how to do it. Okay. And then I love using, this is from Jimmy Swift. She sent me this it was a pin. It was a pin that you wear, and I probably wouldn't wear it. So I came up with this idea. We were messing around with Formflex. And so I made a frame out of Formflex, and then I added an old postcard in the frame, and then I used her flower here. And then I used a couple of little vintage flowers, and we did some clay work. And then painted it all out and made this, again, another prop up for your decor. Love how that one turned out. Okay, then let's see. With the vintage velvet, we learned how to make these leaves. And I've been using these leaves on everything. And I absolutely love them. I've wired them in and love. I've made tiny ones because sometimes my projects need just a tiny little leaf, and then I've made bigger ones, and I really thought I'd be using mostly the smaller ones. I made a ton of little ones, but actually I'm using the bigger ones, and I'm going to show you. I'll make sure I show you this one next. Where is it? Right here. I'll show you this next of an idea of what I did with my velvet. The rest of them are over on my dining room table getting ready for the sale, but I had this one still on the table from last night, and I added my velvet leaves. And so I love that I was able to make those in the group. Okay, so while I was watching the Sparkle Room last night, I love buying old hats and a lot of times they had pin bouquets that were like millinery flowers, which is just old flowers. And this is all old flowers and velvet leaves. And I added them to an old shoe and decorated it out. This shoe was angled, so it made it a high heel. So I added this spool. It's not a shoe. It is a, what do you guys call them? Shoot, there's a word, one word. Oh, what's the word? I always thought they were shoe molds, but they're not, or forms, wood shoe forms that they would like form the shoe around the leather around to make a shoe. It's not a take. It's what do they call it? There's a word. One of you girls is going to type it in. I know. Is it a shoe last? Yeah, there it is. Susie, it's a shoe last. I got it. I know. I remember just in the nick of time. So anyway, there's a rose stuck in there in the top, and then I have the violets, and then all of these vintage flowers, and then as you can see, there's my velvet leaves mixed in, and I absolutely love it. I do have a leaf on the side. It looks like I could use another leaf maybe like right here. I'm going to add another leaf. Yeah, I need to add one more leaf to this. So let's put that in my to-do. I just spotted it. Let me just grab one out of here and I will lay it. I'll lay it aside so that I remember to do that. But anyway, I love decorating the old shoes. Hi, Peggy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love sharing these ideas with you guys. And it's been a while since I've done it, so I'm kind of hitting you hard with a lot of ideas. But I want to show you the creativity and the unique things that we do in the group. And this is just 2 months. This is just this month and last month. I didn't go any farther back. There was a lamb. We made little lambs out of fleece and clay and pipe cleaners and wires, and they're all packed in my Easter stuff. So that's the only thing we did last month that I didn't get to share with you. Okay, so I still need to show you when we were messing around with the molds for this one, I wanted, oops, upside down, like this mold with the form flex. I wanted to play around with some other mold ideas. And this mold we made out of toilet paper and paper towels, just trying the different things. And you can see all of the textures are there. So we learned to mess around with that, how to make them. Oh, thank you, Susie. Yeah, they were super adorable. Yeah, I'm sure I shared a picture or something here. I would think. And then I messed around. So, okay, so the toilet paper, the paper towels worked. So I'm like, we'll try a napkin. So I put a Mackenzie Child napkin in there, and this is what I got. Now the white, I feel like some of the white of the Mod Podge didn't dry completely. You see some white on there, but it wasn't a loss. It was good to know that you could do it with colorful things, and it can always just be painted. But I really lost like the black and white plaid, which that might be what the white is, but I did the black and white plaid one with the turquoise and pink. Well, who'd I give that to? Was Lindy. I gave that to Lindy yesterday. Oh, Linda, thank you for the stars. That's the first stars I've gotten in forever. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. So that is a napkin mold. And then this gold paper from the bottle that I did yesterday. I used the same brown tissue paper or gold colored tissue paper. And I made a leaf mold out of the gold tissue paper, which I thought was very cool too. So we were just messing around one night with all of the different oh, more stars. Wow, thank you. Thanks, Linda. Thank you, Anne. You bounce them around. Who are making nice things, but by far you. Oh, thank you, Daryl. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, everyone's awesome. Everyone's got their thing. So then the girls were like, try book pages. So I tried a couple with book pages and they turned out great. So how cool is that to have like book page molds? So that was cool too. So I was super stoked about that. So that was just a fun little night that we were just messing around. Nothing really super exciting, but cool, right? Cool. And then I figured out Jimmy Swift's leaves. I'm pretty sure I got them. I'm pretty sure I nailed them. Once I figured it out, I got it. And so I made a bunch of leaves like what Jimmy had sent. And then I messed around with gold backing. I did a little bit of gold glitter backing on the leaves. So I thought those would be fun at holiday time with the glitter on them, the glitter on the backs, like that. And then I glittered even like just a picture off of the book page. So they're glittery. I'm not sure if you can tell, but they're not all glittery. But I love the paper leaves, and I've incorporated these in a ton of the projects. Of course, I just made these last month. So, you know, I haven't had time to do a whole lot, but I have used these. I can't think of what, probably on my sale table. Is there any? Oh yeah, I got a project to show you. Stay here. Because I have more to, if you're interested, curious, need inspiration, want to see what we're missing out on in the group. This has been a fantastic last 2 months. I promised you 3 videos. Yes, I did use a leaf punch. That's how I started, was with a punch. Some of them, though, I cut out with special scissors, and but some of them are a punch, but most of them I cut out, actually. Hey, Marlene. Yeah, okay. So then I did more shoes. So this was a corsage. I don't think you can see the pin. I put the pin part down in the shoe, in the slit, and then I added just a few paper flowers to fill in. I love paper flowers. So I used all vintage, and then I added the paper, which has been stained. So I stained them all before I put them in. So this was one of the projects that I did last night while you guys were while the girls and Justin were creating. I made several shoes. Let me show you all of them. Now this is another one that I made, and let me see. The only thing vintage in these is the leaves. The leaves were vintage from a vintage bouquet that I had bought. Everything else is just silk flowers, but I did a blue. Oh, I should set it on my blue, but I'm getting ready to change that out. Because I'm going to put that in the sale. Okay, and then here is another shoe that I did with silks and paper flowers and a little bit of greens. So I love decorating the shoes. It was just one of those ideas that came to me at Christmas time one year, and I did a Christmas shoe, and I absolutely loved it. So then I'm like, I need an everyday shoe. And then a lot of the followers were loving the shoes and wanting me to make them a shoe. So that's how that all came about. So the little rosebuds are vintage. Then I have paper flowers, and then these were just silks that I had. The larger ones were silks, but these are vintage. Let's see, this is all vintage, 100%, except these long purple and these little pearly doodads. Those I added in, but everything else is vintage flowers. So I love that. Did not make sandpaper flowers. No, Mona, I didn't. I don't know what you were hearing. And then here's a yellow one that I made from vintage. This was from an old hat that I tore apart and made a yellow one. So I made, those are what I did during the live last night. I finished my bottle, and then I made all of those shoes, and then I made the book that I just showed you. Okay, so I have 3 more things to share, and then we'll be done. So another project in our group that we did last month was paint can lids. And so then, of course, you've probably already seen that I like to take an idea and expand on it a little bit, and get creative with it. So this was an old paint can lid. Okay, and let's see, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I don't even know. I did have trouble drilling the hole in the middle. I kept getting a rough hole to make it really authentic. I saw this on YouTube. I think Mona, I'm not sure it was Mona. It could have been Joe. One of the girls in the group shared it with me, and they're like, you have to try this. So anyway, this was on an old paint can, and I literally left the old drips and the old yucky on the back of the lid, and I think it just added to the look. This was a quart size plastic lid. That one was a metal lid, but look how yummy the texture was just there from the old paint. Okay. And then this was a lid, a screw-on lid, a metal screw-on lid. So I went from the paint can lids, trying different types of lids and different sizes. And then this is a plastic, like a butter dish lid. And it turned out great too. So The rest of the lids, I made a ton of them, but I sold them all in the group. Those were the 4 that I kept for now. And then, okay, I'm going to save this favorite thing for last. So then, if you remember at Easter time, we came up with an idea of how to, you've been saving your lids? Oh, good, Tracy. So we came up with an idea how to make our own plaster paint, and we plastered doilies. We sewed doilies, little doilies and strips of ribbon to make flowers. And then we plastered them so that they're hard. Okay, they're hard. Let me see. Oh, my glasses are shining. They're hard, you see, okay? And it's just our mix. I give you the recipe in the group. I even plastered the bow. The bow is hard. Let's see if you can tell. It's not quite as crispy as the rest. I did it the next day. But it is hard. You can see it's hard. It's not a soft ribbon. Like if it was soft, it would just all be like hanging down on itself. So we did this at Easter time, and I absolutely loved what we did with our egg and the plaster flowers. And when I say we, I'm talking about my friend Julie. She had this idea actually with the plastering the flowers. And then it was on our Janky to Swanky, which those of you that follow us know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to get into all that. You'll just have to stick around. We've been looking for another Janky to Swanky and we can't, but I'll tell you. Sometimes when we're antique shopping, we find something that we want to transform, and we challenge each other. We do it secretly. And usually I go in my group and make whatever I'm going to make. Oh yeah, Sherry, everything is in the group. There's over 100 for sure. I'm just guessing. There could be 200. I don't know. And they're all in the guides at the top once you're in the group. I put them by month. So if you're looking for something patriotic, you'll want to look May, June, see if you see anything. If you want Christmas, you would want to do like November, December, maybe late October. You might just zip through the October. But the everyday is just mixed in. So then you can just read all of the titles in the guides and find what you're looking for. Anyway, we did a plaster. I did a plaster with some gold underneath of a different type of plaster over just a piece of cardboard. Look, it's just cardboard. So that was a fun project. And then one of my absolute favorite projects, and then I plastered a snippet just to see what it would do. I put a little plaster on the snippet of our mix of paint and, I can't tell you the recipe, but anyway, this is how that turned out. So that'll be cool on something someday. I was just messing around. Hang on, let me grab something. So in my, on my website, I have these papyrus. It's called papyrus, and it is just like a paper. It's a would you bend product, okay, super thin, and it's called papyrus, okay. And I just saw the potential, like major potential, and everyone else was like, I don't see it. Nobody saw it, but like girlfriend wise. But I'll show you what I made out of this. Okay, this is what I started with. Okay, so take that in, just a piece of would you bend, a big piece of would you bend. Okay, this is what I made with it. And I absolutely love it. And we did this in the group from start to finish. And I used that paper, that mulberry paper that I shared with everybody. I really like it. And I showed you how I did all of the edging and covered it, and then did the stencil. So every layer that you do pushes the next thing back. So I started with this, and then I covered it with mulberry paper, both sides, and then I stenciled it, which you can see kind of pushes the mulberry paper back. And then I added a book page, an old book page. No, it was an old letter. I guess it was an old letter. No, it wasn't. It was a scrapbook page, and I stamped it. That's what it was. It was a scrapbook page, and I stamped it with the Best Regards stamp. Okay. I think so. I think that's why you get all of that chunky stuff. See the little bits and chunks. I'm not sure you can see, but there's like a piece of a stem. Yeah, you can see it. See that? I think that's what it is. And then I added a picture. Here are the leaves that we've been making in the group. Okay, I've added some velvet and the regular leaves. I added vintage flowers. I added a brooch. I added an old part of the hat that I tore up with these flowers on it. And then, of course, I added a key. As you probably saw yesterday, I have everybody make something with a key because usually I have a key that I hang off of something. I put a morning pin on here and an itty bitty. Look, there's an itty bitty. So if someone wants, like, what can you do with an itty bitty? There you go. I've had this displayed in my wall. I see hot glue. It just never stops. And then I embedded a little clock face there, just kind of tucked it in. But I love the dimensions and the texture. I love the little fold of the paper and how you see like the back of it. I just love it. I love how it turned out. And then I hung it with a command strip, which is stuck to my wall right now, which I want to leave it that way. But it's the double-sided Velcro, and then you pull the tab and it's got the pull it off. And I told him earlier, make sure you pull down when you're pulling it off. Make sure you pull down slowly so that your little tabby tab doesn't break off. But anyway, this is just hanging on my wall just like this, and I could not love it more. And to think that this is incredible to me. So the papyrus is available if you ever want to give it a try. And you're in my group. I made it last month. Or did I make it this month? I don't know if I made it this month or last month. I don't know. You can see we've made so much. For Promising 3, thank you. I love it. I love it too. Thank you, Glenda and Janie. We've been very busy in the group. I promise you 3 videos a month. Promise. And I've delivered 15 and 13, I believe. So, oh, you missed that one? Marlene, go back. See, Marley Grace is in there. There's all kinds of, it's cool to see fellow crafters in my group because I know that they're getting ideas that they can take and do things with for their groups and their pages. So it's kind of cool. You know, some of the secrets I ask them, you know, this was like out of my little head. Can we keep it? Can we keep it in our group? But for the most part, yeah, it's whatever. Hi, Michelle. You love that too. Thank you guys. Thank you, Marlene. Yeah, you should check it out. Especially you, Marlene. You would love that. I want to I want to tell you like all the rock stars that are in there, but you just have to come and join us. So I'm going to finish with sharing one more time for anyone that came in late, how my bottle turned out from yesterday. So the corners worked out just fine. You can see the corners are fine. All I did was heat. I added my heat gun right on the corner and then I started pinching it down. Then I added I added a little bit of black paint wherever you might see the edge of something. And then I gold rub and buffed over the whole thing just to grab the raised parts. I stained out the lace a little bit darker than what it was because it was a little bright for me. And then I tied on more. I tied on a little something on each of the tails of the ribbon. I added one of our itty bitties that I went through every kind of snippet I have. I did the fabric snippet rolls, the paper snippet rolls, the paper leaves, the velvet leaves. I shared the snippet clusters. I've given you ideas of how to use them here in this video. I've given you ideas how to use several ideas about the itty bitties, both just fronts only and double-sided. This video was packed full. I gave you mold ideas where you can use book pages to make your molds, and tissue paper to make your molds. I'm just looking back through, kind of reviewing, tissue paper and napkins and toilet paper, paper towels. You know, we did the clock faces with paint can lids and butter dish lids, the shoes with all of the vintage, like so much that we've done. The velvet flowers, we touched on those and how I paint them out and what I use to get that nice center, and then I teach you how to stiffen your velvet in there. It's a lot, and I bring little bits and pieces to you guys here because I know not everyone can do the group, but boy, if you need a little inexpensive thing for your birthday, ask them for a month in Tammy's Making. Or if you need Christmas time, have someone get you a year. I did make the shoes while I was watching everyone create yesterday. I made shoes. This one was 100% vintage, so you'll like this one, Michelle. I did the shoe with all old flowers. Look at the rose on the top. And then I added my velvet leaves that we made in the group. You saw those. Michelle's in our group. So there's that. And there's several shoes with the vintage. This is vintage floral. This one's vintage flowers, vintage pansies that are velvet. Let's see. And then these, this one, let's see. Yeah, this is vintage also. This was the corsage that I worked into the shoe. And then I added some paper flowers for filler. I love the paper flowers. So usually you'll get paper flowers. This one didn't have any paper flowers. This was all just silks with the vintage leaves. These were like velvety. They're more like felt, I suppose. You missed it? Well, darn it. And then, yeah, so these, and then here's this one. I made a bunch of shoes. What did I, 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 7 shoes last night watching everybody create. And I finished my bottle. And Michelle, if you're still here, I'll show you how my book, you know, I made the fabric with no backing. Remember in the group, you know, with no backing, and I had the holes. This is the fabric that we made in the group with backing. And then I made it without backing. And it's a little secret. You have to go to the group to see. And then I put it on a book. And I love how it turned out. I love it. And then I embellished it with some buttons and stuff. I added some itty bitties to the front and back of a piece of scrapbook paper that I decorated. But yeah, isn't that really cool? You go to my website, Tammy Loves Vintage, and you can find it there. It's awesome, you guys. I just can't tell you. Like, I talk about it. I talk about it all the time. I feel like it's a secret that most of you just won't know. Yeah, it's called Tammy's Making. Linda, I don't throw it out there because then everybody tries to join without going through the sign-up process. They just search Tammy's Making on Facebook and ask to join, and I can't let you in. You have to go through the process. So usually I don't talk about the name of it, and that's why I want you to go to my website and read about it, see what it's all about. I use spray adhesive. So my Super 77. And thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's like a giant snippet. It's like a giant snippet. And I don't know how you could ever create that just gluing on pieces. You could never get it because see all the stitching? You can see the stitching in it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if I can find. You guys might be able to. I can't see the screen and show you at the same time. But it's got stitching running all over it. Maybe you can see the stitching better on a plain on this one. Yeah. You can kind of see there's stitches that's holding it together. But, you know, how do you get all of those pieces in your sewing machine? Well, that's the secret. So, okay, let's see. I got more questions. Let me see. For those of you that are new too, I haven't been live. I usually, I know everybody goes live every day. I don't know how you guys do it. Or, you know, I just don't have that many ideas for every day. And when I get an idea, I usually take it to the group. But, which sounds so crappy to you guys here. But I got my tribe. I got my friends. I got my people that get me and they get vintage and they get unique ideas. And so they're over there. I try to bless them with the 15% off anything on the website. And we're going to walk my website very soon. My shelf is up. I just need to get my stuff organized a little bit better before I take you in there. Yeah, the group is just so nice. I'll give you a link here in a minute, but it's in my Amazon shop at the link tree at the top. You know, it's hard. Yes, yes. You want to take everything to your girls. You know, you're like my friends, and I just want to say, look what I found. You know, even if I'm in my nightgown, I want to show you what I found, or what I'm going to do, or what do you think of this idea? Talk to me so I can get more ideas to, you know, whatever. I don't know. I would never do that here ever. I might hold it up in the middle of something else I'm making, maybe, but you won't find me every day here, I promise. And you won't find me here. Sometimes I'm on more often than not, but then I go in spurts where I'm not here because I don't have anything to share. So if I have something to share, or I'm making something that I've made before, I'll come on. But just don't be disappointed. I'm like not here all the time. Let's see, where are you guys? Let's see if there's any more anything. I guess I have to be in here. They ask me at the antique store every time I go in and wonder where I get all my ideas. Oh, Kathy. Yesterday it was the grater. Yeah. That's cool. That was really cool. Good, Marlene. Yeah. Get that sewing machine fired up. If I'm a Penny, it's $15 a month. Or you can do a year and you get the last month for free. It would be $165 for a whole year, and you get the last month for free. But you can come in and leave. I don't open it up and, you know, do all of that and say, oh, well, sorry, you can't join now. You have to join whenever. I want you to join when you can and when you want to. So I just leave it open. You know, you get an extra $15, jump in, see what it's all about, decide if you want to stay or not. Maybe join, catch up, see everything, jump out for a little bit, and then you can come back. I have people that do that, catch up, jump out. You know what I mean? Oh, it is, Mona. Oh, God, love you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I need to make more of a community. I mean, we kind of have a community, but I'm in one of Michelle's groups, and she does a lot of challenging and all of that. I know, the monthly giveaways. I try to make big monthly giveaway. I give a lot of, kind of like the boxes that I gave to all of the all of the presenters for the Sparkle Room event. Kind of like those boxes, but way more. Give a t-shirt. I give my t-shirts say Tammy loves vintage and so do I. They're on the website. I try to do a t-shirt. I always do paper packets. I always do vintage things you can craft with. I know. I can't wait to get to Cleveland either. I'm nervous because I'm coming by myself, so I'm nervous. So if you all see me and I'm like all awkward, you know, awkward turtle in the corner, come say hi, because I feel like I'm so alone. Yes, Marlene won last month. Someone wins every month for sure. Let's see. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Yes, I feel the same way. So many great people. You just go to the website, Tammy Loves Vintage, and when you subscribe, there's a subscribe button for my group, Tammy's Making. It talks about the group and what to expect, and then you hit the subscribe button, and it'll take you right through PayPal. I have some people that don't do PayPal, so I take their credit card and I type it in every month. Yes, for $15. That's true. Or like hang out together. I know, Michelle, I can't wait to meet you girls, you and Mama P both. I stepped on Mama P today. She was live. She had to have been live for 2 hours. I listened to her like the whole time I was getting ready. I jumped out to dry my hair, came back on, came downstairs to get a cup of coffee, you know, still watching her, came in here to the craft table, still watching her. And I thought finally I had to do it because we got to go visit my mom, my husband's mom. Got to go let the dogs out for my daughter. And, you know, we have things to do today. So anyway, I told my husband, I really want to go live with my friends. Mama P's going. So I stepped on her. Hopefully I don't know if she's still live or not, but I stepped on her today. I hate to do that. I try not to. But I knew I had a lot to talk about and I wanted to catch everybody. So you're jealous. What? Oh, because the girls are going. I know. It's going to be such fun. I've never been able to go. I can't, like my husband, no way. I couldn't be able to go to the retreats, but what do they call them? Event. But I get to go to this one because it's local and my husband had hotel points. So I was able to use this. I'm not staying where everybody's staying. I'm staying down the street just a little bit. I have to walk a little bit. but that was the only way I was able to go. And my husband got me a room for like 3 nights with his points. And I talked to Kathy and she said, that's fine. Yes, yes. So I'm still there. I'm just not staying quite at the same place as the event, which stinks, but you know, that's what I have to do. That's what I had to do to get there. And then, yeah, I'm ready, you guys. I know what we're making. I'm super pumped about it. I think you guys are going to love it. It's not 100% vintage like you might expect, but I knew most of the people are there for Kathy and Chris, and they're not, you know, as vintage as I am. Chris is becoming, daggone, she's catching up though. She's really finding not a flair for it, but a appreciation. That's a great word. She's really learning to, it is a huge leap of faith. I'm glad you have Mama P with you, and you know that I'll be there, Michelle. So we'll be, you know, 3 little chickens together. I hope you girls find me. I told them they're welcome to stay in my room. Randy got me a king size bed, but you know, we can meet and sleep together on the same day. I don't care. You're welcome to my room if it helps you girls out. I feel like I know you all very well, so it's a good thing, right? But anyway, I'm so looking forward to it, and I so understand those that aren't able to come, but they do have virtual tickets as well, so you're able to do that. But anyway, mostly I wanted to share my finished bottle. I added a couple of buttons to the top to pull that black and gold up, and then all of the tie-ons, how the frame turned out in the corners. And I'm sorry the frame took me so long. I'm fairly new to Would You Bend, but I think I'm figuring it out. I'm not quite as afraid of it as I used to be. And I definitely want to do more with the papyrus boards like this, more of this with these boards. But if you want to give it a try, they're on my website, and then lots of frames and embellishments and stuff from Would You Bend. Lots of antiques on my website, little crafty antique things. There's a scale on there. I have one of those scales, the hanging fur scale. I should show you that real quick before we go, because I just noticed it on my shelf. Are you still there? Oh, you're still there. I pushed the button. Let me flip you around here and I'll show you one thing. I didn't realize I had that, but I have this scale. I hung a gauge on it, and I put some flowers on it. But this furrier scale, they would hang like, if it's over a certain weight, it hangs on this part of the scale. And if I pull on it, my nail will come out of the wall. But if you pull on it, the scale moves, and I think it's more brass, but there's a nice picture of it. And then this is for a smaller animal, the weight of a smaller, but I love that. And this was a paint and varnish, Anchor brand, paint, varnish, and enamel, which I love collecting old paint stuff because I've been painting for so long. So yeah, I love that. I mean, I need to do a house tour. I haven't done a house tour in a long, long time. Yeah, and my mantle, of course, I've got my grandbaby's teepee laying there so she doesn't climb up on the thing, and all of her toys. And then my papyrus thing is hanging right there is where I ended up and put it. My kitchen's kind of a mess from yesterday. I saw my drying rack out. But it's, you know, I have pretty little vignettes in my kitchen. I'll show you. Like, I love all of this stuff. This little German drawer thing. With the words. Oh no, this one's not German. I'm sorry. This is like my third one that I've had. This is not German. I sold the other ones. No, it's not. I just love the color of this one. That's right. And the little porcelain knob. So I traded out. There's a bottle that I made, and a little dish with an advertising scoop in it, which I love, which was ridiculously expensive, but I bought it. It was $35 for that stupid advertising scoop, but I don't regret it. I put coffee beans in the tin, and I love it. Love the, whenever you can find these. I know I've sold a bunch of these to you guys, but want that print. Oh, it's Clara Bow. Clara Bow is that girl. Sorry, who keeps their half-used paper towels. And then there's my my another little collection, my chocolate stirrer, my pastry scraper, dough scraper, my bread knife, some little rolling pins, different size rolling pins are in there. You know, all the things. Yes, I got to get my tulips off the middle of my table. They've been there forever, as you guys know. My tulips have been there ridiculously long. We'll do a tour of the house another time. I did. Oh, look, you remember from my shopping, I added a black velvet bow and I put this really, really old silhouette just with my, it's in my hallway, you see, but I started a little collection. There's my moody oil painting. And then I started a little collection of these really, really old silhouettes in the wooden frames. I like the black frames better. She's over here because she's a gold frame and I'm kind of a matchy. So I need to start collecting the black ones. But they have to be like super duper old. And then my dining room. So when I tell you I have a sale coming, look, I'm not kidding you when I say, oh, it's probably in my sale pile. Yeah, this is coming up this week, probably tomorrow in my group. I just have to get it kind of organized. But yeah, this is all coming up. And then I have a Truck Couture sale coming up too. So that's coming. Yeah, so lots to see. How do I flip this back? There we go. There we go. So, okay. I always tell you at the end, we go wild, right? We get wild at the end. You never know. So, let's see here. You have the old hook scale things in the shed now. Oh my gosh, bring it in. That's why you're here. Great. That's why you're here, is to get inspired and get those things out. I'm trying to keep my, thank you. Yeah, it's Clara Bow is the image transfer that I showed you. I'll see, now you're all seeing my craft crap. Here, I'll give you a better, something prettier. Love the finished bottle. Yeah, I did have a couple of boo-boos, but they went away. I'm sorry. Please sell your bags after the event, which you put together for their project. Oh, I'd have to buy more. I might have to buy more anyway. Wondering if I join your group. Someone's messaging me a question. A huge leap of faith. I know. And especially to be a presenter with those girls. Oh my gosh. In person. It's one thing to create here because I'm like, oh, if I screw up, I can just get out. You're going to buy a vintage chippy white end table. Love that. I think I'm going to take this table and cover it with papers. It's all painted. I had it in my store and it was our work table and I'm kind of tired of it. So I think I'm going to do some napkins or old pages or something like that. So I'm looking through to see. You have been with my group, Penny, since 2019 when I started that group. You sure have. And bless your heart for that. You and actually a lot of you girls have been in there since it started. So we gave you a gift for my birthday. I jumped in and stayed, and it's been over a year. Somebody gave me a gift. Oh, yes, yes, done by me. Marilyn, yeah, she's in there. Yeah, I remember her gifting you that, and I thought, what a great gift idea for a friend for $15. Cool. Thank you, Mona. Okay. Anyway, I think I've answered the questions. Of course, I'll go back through and answer again. Thank you. Oh, wow. If you get my style, then I get yours. You're right. So thank you guys. Yes, Jackie, they did so. I was so proud of them. I messaged them all at the end. We're in a little group for the presenters and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you guys. What's on my wall behind me? I actually made this in a Sparkle Room event. Let me show you. Is that what you're talking about? This one? I have some old millinery, like velvet leaves and velvet flowers, and I added some buttons and a pin. I have an old quilt as the background. There you can kind of see I used a quilt as the background. Again, it's on just a piece of cardboard. I added a beautiful necklace. There's another gem oh yeah, over here. And so I pulled the black and gold frame, and then an old clock face. This is an old one, not one that I made. Well, because you can see the gold around there. And then I added this. Now this I won't be selling in the group. The Randy got me this for a gift. It is a beautiful old ladies watch and I love it. It was $40. And I really wanted it, but I didn't want to spend that much money on it. And Julie was shopping with me, and Randy had told her if I saw anything I wanted that I didn't get, would she get it? And so I did. So I got that. Oh, not that. Okay, my wall. All right, so I painted the wall, and then I Mod Podged paper to it here and there. I used to have a piano. This was my piano wall. It's kind of a, let me see. It's kind of a short wall there, you can kind of tell, and then there's the corner that starts all of my crafting supplies. So when I jump off camera to grab something, that's where I'm going, and it goes all the way down. So that's like all my crafting stuff that I jump off for. And then this is my shipping. So you can see I've piled up a lot of boxes ready for our sale coming up in the group tomorrow. Anyway, so then I plastered over with a mix that I used to craft with even, which you girls have the recipe in the group. So I troweled that on, and then I glazed it, which kind of gave my eggshell paint a bit of a shine. You can kind of see, but I did a glaze, and then I did a whitewash. So it kind of, you can kind of see the white, how the white gathered in. So I did a whitewash, just to tone it down. It was, oh, I almost knocked a box off. Sorry, I have a box here on my stool. My snippet box is on my stool. I about knocked it. Anyway, so it's just kind of embedded papers, and it added some texture to the wall. It's only on that one wall. I didn't do it anywhere else. But it was cool back in the day. It was old sheet music covers. You can kind of see. And then after I sold the piano, I went in and covered it even more. So it's been a wall that's like a progressive wall that I've messed around with a lot. So there you go. That's the wall behind me. Just because that's where it was. It just worked out. That's you know, my background is that. So yeah, sorry. I thought you meant the other thing hanging. Okay. Yeah. Marlene, you're in the group. I've shared this whole thing. That's how Michelle ended up doing her plastic drawers. They hold a lot, and I don't usually show all that yucky mess, but it is what it is. And, you know, I've inspired some people of how to store. I thought maybe it would be a good idea to like take each drawer and show you what was in each drawer, you know. That would be something kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But I've added like those, let me see. I've added, these two are holiday stuff, which I used to pack away, but I've decided to keep them out so that if I need to see how many Christmas trees do I have, how many Christmas trees do I need, or, you know, Santa's or whatever, I've got them right here. And then my spring and my Valentine, I have a drawer for Valentine, a drawer for Easter, a drawer for spring, and then some other whatevers. But yeah, right? What of you I have, huh? What of you? Oh, you guys, everyone's going to leave now. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't stay with her. I can't stand it. So see, even when something might look nice, it also has that hidden element that we don't show normally. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to go. I promise I'll look through all the comments and answer your questions and post links that you don't want to, you know, you didn't go look or you didn't want to mess with it. The Amazon links for anything you asked about. I know someone wanted the spray adhesive I use all the time. So anywho, I hope to see you in my group. I hope more people want to join, especially knowing I got this big sale coming up. I try to do a sale every month. Sometimes I have lots of sales, not lots, but 2 or 3. And sometimes I don't have any in a month, and that's what happens. But I just had one like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's time. You want a personal assistant to guide you on your stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, Mona, I'm doing the best I can. Okay, you guys. So I will see you all later. Thank you for joining me. We got to get going. So thanks for hanging out with me and ignoring my skin cancer biopsies here on my nose. For anybody that didn't know that yesterday, it's going to be tomorrow, Marlene. I don't know exactly what time because I've got to sort through and price. And I think I might do a progressive sale. I think Randy's going to be gone, and I'm not going to have Millie this week. So what I thought, I've never done this before, but I thought it might be kind of fun to do different time slots. So I'm going to get up in the morning. I love you too, Michelle. Thank you. And lay things out, number it, price it, and then do a sale at some point whenever, and then wait a couple of hours. I can bring more stuff because I have 2 more tubs of stuff. It's just been a while since I've done a sale. So then I'm going to do another one at a little bit later time, and then maybe even a third one. So I'll just keep, you know how I pile and I name each person and I lay little piles all the way around the office and down through the living room and up the hallway. I'll do that. And then for the people that can't get on and might be able to catch like the next one, and then keep doing that to try and utilize the shipping boxes to get more in your boxes. And then whatever's left, if there's anything left, I might come here in the evening and do that. And then I can spend all day Wednesday, Wednesday shipping. I don't have anything Wednesday besides taking care of the dogs. And then Thursday I have a paint job. We started office at the courthouse. So I have a paint job on Thursday. Hopefully I'll get that done and I can come back to shipping on Friday, Saturday. So that's my thinking. It's my first free time I've really had. Yes, I'll call Earl. Maybe you girls will meet Earl. So those of you who don't know Earl, you will. Yeah. So that's in my head. We'll see if we can make it work. But so it's kind of going to be a continuous thing throughout the day. Tomorrow is what I was thinking. Maybe start around lunchtime. If I can get some things together, take an hour break or 2 and then come on again with more stuff. And I thought that might be fun to have a progressive sale. So we'll see. So yes, bye you guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. But I hope I see you in my group because it's got good stuff coming. Bye.